So with that, I'm going to start us off with QuickBooks Commerce. We announced QuickBooks Commerce a few weeks ago. It's brand new. It's only available to new customers, and it's still around the beta level of functionality. We've received a lot of interest and questions from accountants as we've introduced QuickBooks Commerce. So this is a little bit premature for like the broad offering, bringing it to you guys, but we wanted to keep the theme of in the know and make sure that this is something that you guys have time to answer questions about, ask questions about, find out more functionality ahead of this going out to a full-scale launch. To talk about QuickBooks Commerce, I have Meha with me. Welcome, Meha.
Thanks, Jessica. Awesome. So thank you, everyone, for joining. I've been with Intuit about 6 years. I'm in the small business segment, and I will be talking to you about QuickBooks Commerce. QuickBooks Commerce is our single platform for online businesses to manage their business across all the different channels they may have. So to get us started, I wanted to ask you guys a poll question, which is what percentage of omni-channel product-based businesses reconcile inventory using pen and paper or spreadsheets? I'll give you guys a minute to get through that.
I love that we're kicking off with something that helps everyone engage and see where we're at. We usually give about a minute for these polls, and it's really just a baseline for us. Is it something that we need to tell you like the in-depth background of, or is it something that like y'all are already doing today and we can keep it super high level? Sometimes we'll also ask these for help prioritizing. We know that there's a million things that you'd love our products to do, and we try to prioritize like what's the most critical and key for the most of our customers so we can solve those really, really well. And those are all the ways we use these poll data throughout this. So it looks like we've got some good responses coming in, but we'll give you guys a little bit more time. You know, Meha, I'm going to take the opportunity while we have you, because there's a lot of questions coming in about omni-channel. Just can you give us like a 10-second, like what is omni-channel product commerce?
Sure. So omni-channel is basically selling on more than one channel. It could be an online and an offline channel, like a marketplace like an Amazon versus your retail store or your website. So it's a combination of more than two channels, either online or offline.
Awesome. All right, here we go. It looks like we have a pretty even split on what our customers are using. So you've got yeah.
This is a really shocking one because the one that has the lowest responses is actually the right answer. So it's 84%, which is very shocking because as you start selling on more than one channel, it becomes really complicated if you don't have a software that automatically updates, and keeping track of inventory across different channels can become a nightmare. So, let me go into what we heard from our customers. So we know that 87% of small businesses want to be omni-channel in the next 12 months. And with COVID, this has only accelerated. As I mentioned, a huge portion of these are still using spreadsheets or pen and paper to manage their inventory, which makes it super complicated as you start scaling on multiple channels. 50% of them are afraid of the complexity that this adds in terms of adding new channels. And 76% of them want a one-stop shop, one software solution to help manage all of their business finances. So what we did was launched QuickBooks Commerce. What QuickBooks Commerce is that single source of truth for product-based businesses who are selling their goods online to manage their business. We are really early on in our journey, as Jessica mentioned, but we wanted to bring you along because you are our biggest supporters and you will provide us the most valuable feedback as we start to grow our features and start serving more and more customers. Our current launch includes multi-channel management, which is a single place to manage all your product listings. So for example, if a customer updates their product description or pricing, it would automatically update all the channels that they sell on. Next is order management. So this is that single place to see all the orders that they may have coming in from all their different channels. Inventory management is that ability to sync your inventory across different channels so you're never kind of overselling and you're never being hit by penalties and fees from these marketplaces. B2B online storefront. So this is a really interesting feature as part of QuickBooks Commerce. We know that a lot of wholesalers or manufacturers who are selling to other businesses are still using very archaic processes such as phone orders, email. So this is our attempt at taking all of that to the 2020, and that would be through a website where you can have a product catalog and have a checkout functionality. And lastly, but of course not least, is accounting integration. So all the invoices and inventory data get synced into QBO automatically. As I mentioned, it's a small beta right now, so it's only available to new QuickBooks Online customers through our marketing page. Customers have to go through a survey, which helps us determine if the product currently is a good fit for them. And if they are a good fit, then our care agents would call them up and get them set up in terms of purchasing commerce, as well as setting them up on commerce. I have a few screenshots here as you guys take this away for your handout, so you can take a look, but I will actually be demoing all of this. So this is the multi-channel product management, order management, which is your one place to see all your orders across different channels, inventory management, which is the ability to manage your inventory from a single place, and the accounting integration. So this shows you the frequency as well as the ledger mapping and the chart of account mapping between commerce and QuickBooks. So let me move over to a live demo now. So as you guys can see, I'm in QuickBooks, and this is a company that has commerce enabled. It is currently an add-on, and it is priced at $20. That is the introductory price for the next 12 months, with the price then jumping to $250 post that. You can see commerce on the left nav here. Click on it, and it is going to take me to commerce. I'll give you a quick tour of commerce before I dive into some of the really powerful functionality I would like to showcase. So this is the dashboard. Customers can see how they're doing from a revenue and cost perspective, profit, as well as the units sold. They can see which orders they need to ship on, as well as they can see how they're performing on each of the channels that they sell on right here. Next is inventory, and I will go to one of these variants here. So you can see you can quickly create variants from this. So it could be things like if you're selling t-shirts, small, medium size. If you're selling bikes, it could be different wheel sizes. You can quickly create them in commerce, as well as you can publish them to different sales channels from this one spot in commerce. Moving on to sales orders. So this is your one place to see all the orders coming in from all the different channels. As you can see, orders that come in from Shopify, etc., they come in as finalized orders, which are invoiced and paid. And then you know you need to work on packing and fulfilling them here. Stock control is the place where customers can do periodic inventory counts to make sure that what they have in their warehouse aligns with what is reflected in commerce. And this is our B2B storefront. I'll show you what that looks like. So as you can see, it looks like a kind of a website where you can see all the products and be able to order it, as well as it has a checkout tool. This can be invite only, so you can give all your B2B customers a login and a password, so it's not available to the general public. So for example, if a customer is selling both on retail as well as wholesale, their wholesale prices are protected. All right, now moving on to some of the functionality that I wanted to show you. I'm going to walk you through a sales order coming in from Shopify that then gets synced over to commerce and then goes over to QuickBooks, and your journal entries are created for you automatically. So this is the bicycle company store that is linked to my commerce store. I'm going to create a new order here. I'm going to select a customer and a product. All right. And then I mark it as paid. And this automatically creates a sales order, which is then synced over to QuickBooks Commerce. I'm going to have to refresh it. There you can see that's the order that I just created, 1007, that came in from Shopify. As you can see here, I can click on that sales order. And since it's already paid, it's already created an invoice. And you can see here that it's already linked to QuickBooks Online. So if I click on this link here, it'll automatically take me to QBO and the invoice within QBO. So you can see the same data here, Will Smith, the $87.20. And sorry, this is blocking my ability to see. Okay, and if I hit on more, like any other invoice, you can go to the transactional journal and you can see that journal entry that was created there. Right. So I have one more poll question for you before we turn it over to Q&A. What are your biggest challenges in serving e-commerce clients?
Thank you for the demo, Meha. The questions are going rapid fire, so we'll give everyone a minute to finish selecting before I start taking, because I don't want to distract anyone while they're trying to fill out the questions. But it looks like we have a ton of good things for you guys to look at, with both future options to add, as well as just some clarity and lots of excitement from people who want to demo it for their clients as well. So keep the questions coming in. Once you've got your survey answered, or the poll question answered, we'll give you about 30 more seconds or so to get those answers in. Some excitement in here for sure, and lots of people with questions about existing. So that's what this means for existing clients will be what we start with as soon as this poll is wrapped up. All right.
Great.
So we've got most of our answers in. Okay, so about half of our folks don't currently support e-commerce clients. Hopefully this makes it easier for you guys to get into that niche. We know the world's going online, especially in these crazy times we live in. Any surprises for you, Meha, in these answers?
No, this makes sense. The reconciliation of the fees that come in from these sales channels, we've heard time and time and again that this is a huge pain point, and there is no inventory management solution on the platform that around in the market that solves for this as well. So this would be kind of something that we definitely want to provide, and could be something that we could really excel in terms of providing a great customer experience there.
Wonderful. All right, so let us move on and take some questions from you guys. So number one, we called out at the beginning that this is for new QBO customers, and we have a lot of folks in the audience who have some existing customers who they think would be a good fit, or are trying to get into this area. Mm-hmm. Is there an option in the future that we're exploring to bring this to existing customers?
Yeah, so early in 2021, we're going to start opening it up to existing QBO customers. We want to start with QuickBooks customers who don't have already, they're not using the product and inventory functionality in QuickBooks, because there is data mapping and all those challenges that we still need to work through. So we would start off with existing QBO customers who are not using inventory functionality already in QuickBooks.
Okay, perfect. And then I'm sure, Meha, once we figure out the integrations, we'll have you back here to update these guys on what it looks like. Lots of questions about like how they can see this. How do they talk to new clients who are potentially coming on about this? Is there a place where they can see demos, or they can access more information, or even potentially play around with like a test environment for this?
Yeah, we don't have a test environment currently, unfortunately. The way to sign up is we have a marketing page that allows customers, as I mentioned, new customers to go through a survey. And if customers qualify, then we would set them up. We would have a care agent call them up and walk them through the purchase process. We don't have a demo, unfortunately, at this moment, but we're working through a trial SKUs soon, so we should have that.
Awesome, because we also have a lot of questions about how pro advisors can get training to support this better. So all good call outs for us to look at. We've got a lot of questions about like the specific customer types that this is a fit for, and a lot of interest around like if you're a manufacturing business, manufacturing products and inventory, is this a good fit for maybe the manufacturing specific group?
Yeah, so currently we're not supporting manufacturing on our on commerce. This is kind of part of the functionality that we got from an acquisition that we made recently, which was TradeGecko. TradeGecko has some basic manufacturing functionality, but it's not as robust as we would like it, which is why we took it out from the product, and we want to expand on it first before we open it up to customers who have manufacturing needs.
Okay, awesome. Couple other quick questions. Some excitement that we showed bikes. We've got some avid cyclists in the group. Lots of questions around like the pricing and stuff. And I think all of that's in the handout, but we'll double check that all that information is on the websites where we can find it. Is this a functionality that's available in the US, or can our Canadian friends access this as well?
Currently, it's US based only, but we do have plans to go global. And TradeGecko actually was a global product and was able to support customers all over. So.
Okay, awesome. This group for this webinar, Meha, usually is US only for the bulk of our audience, but we do have some of our friends in Canada that join us as well. And then last question, just getting a lot of questions about like the QBO integrations on this. Is this something that they have to be using a specific version of QuickBooks Online for, or is it kind of open season?
Yeah, so currently it's on Essentials Plus and Advanced. We do want to enable a Simple Start, but because Simple Start doesn't have bill pays and bill functionality, the experience is not as great. So which is why we've limited that usage currently.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Lots of questions still coming in about like the number of orders, number of channels, number of inventory items. So we'll make sure that those are built in the Q&A. I also see some really specific, like this is my use case for my customer type of feedback. That's actually super helpful for us. So Neha will take all of these examples that you're giving. We appreciate that you guys are taking the time to like write that out. I saw one just come in that's like a paragraph and a half long. So those are things that we pressure test when we look at our roadmap, and maybe I'll take that back to the team and figure out what we can do. I do want to get to our next one, but thank you so much for joining us today, Maria.
Thank you, Jessica.